Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you some of my favourite tips and tricks for playing Cargo Run. So, there's a few different things you might need to know, and the best thing that I'm going to do is just play through a Cargo Run while I'm explaining, my favourite interactions and things like that as well. So, I'm going to start with Jakar. The reason I'm starting with Zax is the best captain for the cargo runs. If you're looking for an easier cargo run, trying to have the easiest time doing it, Zax is absolutely the way to go. There's a couple of things that make him really useful. One of which is the 2 ranged attack to begin with is just a great utility on its own. His knockback is more useful than you might think for reasons that we'll go into later. And also, Gravity Disc and Sleeper Mines are incredible abilities in this game mode. Gravity Disc lets you pull yourself towards the crates that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get, and Sleeper Mines, the AI loves to kill Sleeper Mines, so you can give yourself a lot more time by going through by deploying Sleeper Mines and giving the AI that option. So, one of the things to think about in cargo runs is just making use of the best tools that you've got available. So, when looking at things, the first thing you want to do is see if any crates have dropped, and if so, what's in the crates. And more importantly, whether or not you want to pick up the crates as well. So, we've looked at our opponent here, so there are 10 different opponents. This one is Rain Shintang. Rain is a ranged unit. A melee unit. I'm getting confused with their name and their attack type here. And what they do is, basically their attack is equal to Unspent Cinder, so it gets higher and higher throughout the game. And at the end of its turn, each Unspent Cinder deals 1 damage to a random rival in range and line of sight. To clarify, at the moment that is actually somewhat bugged, it only ever deals 1 damage, so less scary than you might think. And then what we've got here is we need to choose what to do about this. So, we're ranged, Stasis Field is good to stun him, Plink is good to chip him down faster. These are both really good things for us here. So we're going to do this and work it out. So, looking around for crates, we haven't got any early on. So, what I'm going to do is basically just try and find ways in which we can start applying pressure to the enemy captain. It's not going to be an easy one from this range, so we're just going to move over here. Now, when the crates start to drop, the things to think about is which are useful, which are not. Almost everything persists between rounds, but not everything does. And these are some of the ones that we want to look for. So, there's no other crates on the battlefield, and this is a Cinder Bracelet. It's a relic. So, this is actually one of my favourite relics on Zax. And this is, the reason for this, your captain abilities are free, is absolutely incredible when we've got Gravity Disc and Sleeper Mine, to the point that I'm actually willing to just scoop this up now, move ourselves further forward, see if we got a line of sight, which we don't, wasn't expecting to, but now, every single turn we can place a free Sleeper Mine. So, it doesn't seem like much, but there are things that combo with this as well. One of the reasons that Zax is so good is because of his abilities, and getting them for free every turn is perfect. So, these are the other sort of buffs. So again, no more on the map. You'll hear a little sort of sound every time one drops. This just gives a unit 3 max health permanently. So, things of learning when to use things are interesting as well, because if we try to move up here, and then Gravity Disc into the box, we don't get to move very far. However, we can actually Gravity Disc the box to us, make sure we're going as far as possible with the Gravity Disc without pulling our mine up. Then we can still move on top of that. And that actually got us further than it would if we'd done the other way around. We did get our attack. We're going to Sleeper Mine to block off some movement. Make sure we hit our Plink. Now, because they are a melee unit and quite a powerful one, we're just going to deploy Aria at the back as well. So, we're not going to take any risks. And also, in this list now, Blindsider SD is going to be worse because we can't spend that Cinder to guarantee that we're getting our unit sorted here and there. So, he's fast, so he can easily get to this mine. And this is the point where... But he's not fast as in like the keyword, but he is just a fast unit. And now we really have to start figuring out how we're going to end this as quick as possible, because this is a lot of damage heading our way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at where he can move. My deployment for the turn is going to be Blindsider Esli just out of range. We're going to deploy Tari Arsenal, again, further back. We're going to use our stun, this time onto Switchback, because Switchback can deal more damage, because it's based entirely on... because it's ranged. And what we're going to do is just take advantage of the ranged attack that we've got to deal as much damage as possible. And then we can move, so check his range, we still want to move back out of it. So either way, we're going to be moving back here. We'll place a sleeper mine about where we think he can get to. We can blink as well. And then we could gravity disc here, and I think we probably just do to move. In fact, I don't think we need to. There's nothing to gravity disc here. We'll just sit here. So the plan is going to be, they're going to attack and kill this mine, which is fine. But our plan is going to be to kill them next turn. Now, some of the things I was saying earlier about the easiest tips and tricks and that sort of thing is to look out for the different relics and things that combo with your captain. So booby-trapped igniters is when one of your units destroys a rival, deal 2 damage to rivals within range. It's only really good in one matchup, and it's not the most exciting one even then. So we're not going to go for that. What we're going to do is just going to go for as much damage as possible right here. So, in theory, we're going to move this out, not to touch that. We just want to get guaranteed hits with everything. So we're going to move right into range for every single unit we can. Again over here, make sure we leave space for Esley to sneak on through. We've got that crit, so all we need to do is spend 5 Cinder, put anything down anywhere, and come and attack. And what we would have been doing is pulling the crate into range of him if we needed to, or even just attacking with Esley without it. We've got Plink, we've got more than enough options here to finish him off. So take him out, and all the buffs, especially glowing, our Cinder Bracelet, are going to carry on until the next round. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that the Cinder Bracelet ability can actually also drop in a regular crate that isn't a relic, and the relics you can only ever get a maximum of 3. So, in some runs, some runs I avoid the Cinder Bracelet. If I think there's other better options that I can already see on the field, but it is so powerful that it's absolutely worth getting even early on, and it can really add value to your run. Now, what we're going to be looking for is the glowing armor, I believe it's called. Okay, Acid Maker Matek. So, Acid Maker Matek we know is going to deal 4 damage in an AoE right on top of us, and it's going to be really frustrating to deal with. So, what do we want to bring out here? Honestly, I don't hate Nano Shield and Orbital here. It's not ideal, but Stowaway is not very useful. Corrosive does help us kill quicker, though. Let's just go with Corrosive. We're going to try and play ranged anyway, and see what we get here. So we've got Axle Pyro, or permanently gains chance to crit. So I actually am happy with both of those. We'll move over here and get our 11% chance. Here, we did get a hit. And what we can do is we can just gravity disc ourselves forward into this to pick up at least 1 more unit. There we go. And with us being able to move forward slightly here, we can just place a sleeper mine down. And that will probably act as a bit of bait for them to go ahead and take as well. So next turn we're going to be wanting to put our captain onto the chance to crit, because one of the easiest things to do as Axe is buff your captain as much as possible. It actually looks like maybe they could hit both units here, but it is difficult to do. So that's booby-trapped igniters again. We already know that that's not what we want here. So I'm going to probably risk Axel getting a little bit damaged here. We don't actually have what we need to do it in the right order. So we're going to want to get this first anyway, because it adds crit. So we want to make sure we get these without taking booby-trapped igniters. Pull ourselves into a better line of sight, which is just here, which is excellent. So we're going to use Axel first. And Axel's ability does knock him back. So it doesn't say that in the text, but it does, so we need to just make good use of that where we can. We want to place a sleeper mine just outside of melee range, because that will stop them moving too far forward, because they'll have to move if they want to attack it, so they can use their acid cloud but without being able to do too much. We should have probably attacked first, but we can attack here with our additional crit chance now. So we didn't get the crit, but that's fine, and we'll pop a Taria Arsenal down somewhere relatively safe. So I'm not going to use Stowaway because actually no, I am going to use Stowaway because it's going to take a 3-drop away. We've got Crankbait is our lowest attack 3-drop, so that's the one it's going to pick, and I don't really care for Crankbait in this situation anyway. So we've swapped Crankbait out, and we've now got a Neck Divine. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so they go for our captain here and the mine, so they're just going to push damage onto our captain. So with us having a lot of potential damage next turn, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, so I'm actually just going to go all in on killing their Matek. So I don't think we've got enough damage this turn, but we're not too far off. So we'll seize initiative here. We are going to move slightly back to reduce the accuracy. Sorry, to reduce the chance of getting hit back in case we don't push them far enough. And we've done corrosives here, so we can just, with extra crit and everything here. There we go. So this is going to be enough because we can now flamer this. So we're not going to heal much with our captain because we heal based on remaining cinder, but this is absolutely fine. Quick round, taking that out as well. So one of the things I want to point out is something I'm looking for in this run is one of the relics called Stimulating Formula, or one called Glowing Armlet, or Heroic Amulet, I think it is. They're the three that I'm really, really looking for with this setup that we've got. Stimulating Formula is one of the best combos with Zax in the game, because what it does is that whenever you go into base contact with an enemy unit, you attack them for free. Now what that means with Zax is that he attacks them and knocks them back slightly, which is powerful in itself. Just so here I'm going to take Disruptor and Plink because Disruptor's not as good as Vortex, but Plink is better than Recall. So what we're going to be looking at is essentially a situation where if something moves into base contact with Zax, we knock them back slightly anyway. So it makes them almost immune to Zax almost immune to melee attackers if there's somewhere to knock them back, if they're not wedged against a wall. It also means that what you can do if you really need to get damage onto a unit, you can move into contact with them, shoot them away, you gravity disc them back together, that counts as another contact, you shoot them away, and then you shoot them normally again. So you get 3 attacks per turn just using Stimulating Formula. Now we've got Cinder Bracelet, so our abilities are free, so it doesn't even cost us anything to do that. And on top of that as well, you can get 2 different ways of refreshing your abilities on your captain, which is the Amulet and the Armlet, I think they are. And so with all of those together, you actually end up in a situation where you can refresh it and attack up to 6 times per turn, which is utterly ridiculous. Okay, so we do have the maximum number of crew so far, so what we're going to do is we'll place a mine out first, give them a target, and we're just going to gravity disc ourselves back behind this smoke and slow visibility, make it a lot harder for them to hit us. Laser Squad is terrifying, and as it stands at the moment, this Laser Squad is going to be critting a lot of the time, and is attacking 3 times a turn, so we really need to be careful in how we deal with Laser Squad. I heard another drop. That's there. There we go, Heroic Amulet. So, this isn't the perfect situation for it right now, I'll be honest, but because there's nothing else on the board, but it's still a very, very good thing to get, so we're absolutely going to be using this. So we'll take our range attack here, hopefully we hit the 50-50, we do, perfect. So Deadeye can take a shot. I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to move over to here. There we go. We'll take our shot, 64%. We're going to gravity disc ourselves. Can we get both of them is the question. Back this way slightly. So this should make it harder to hit us. If we place a sleeper mine here, it actually definitely adds to the difficulty of getting in range. You can plink them. And honestly, I think we just add Arya to our little ranged fortress. She's probably slightly safer somewhere like this, so she can get line of sight, but for now we'll place her here, because we can always move there next turn. So we almost want them to play something onto the battlefield, and we're looking for things now that basically give Zax additional attack, is going to be really useful for us here, and that's pretty much it. Like, other ways of refreshing it would be nice, but we want them to play small cheap units that Zax can finish off, because it just gets us so much value. Hands-free device is not one that I'm a big fan of.
Really draws the eye.
Okay, so we're going to pop over here with... It's going to have some reduced accuracy, but that's fine. Use stillness. That's a pretty good shot now. There we go. So Zax can get a decent shot from here. We're going to save that until after Deadeye's shot though, because Deadeye's shot is going to be slightly less accurate anyway. Can we get 17 without hitting that one? I think that's the best we can do. So here we might as well use Ozos on myself. Get 96, there we go. 72. Nice big crit. Place another sleeper mine down. Again, keep them distracted. Gravity disc ourselves back to safety. Again, we're ignoring hands-free cargo. Wherever booby-trapped igniters went, was that the other map, wasn't it? Didn't want that either. And we're just going to blink here as well. So, the Stimulating Formula combo is one of my favourites. Heroic Amulet, as well as the Glowing Armlet, I think it is. Those two together are also incredible, because Glowing Armlet just allows you to refresh your abilities. If your abilities are already free, then it's the refresh is free as well. It's normally one cinder, but it's free as well. And then on top of that, you can just have some utterly absurd finishes here. So, permanently reducing a unit's cost by 4 is great. We're going to just take Arya's hit here, and she can just go pick that up. She'll just be free in future. And now the question is here, do we think we can get this realistically? Because with a good crit, we could be able to. But this is going to be a challenge still. But we need to go for it. No, so if we get a strong crit here on Zax, this does work, and we don't have anything with hasty ability here or anything, so we're just going to Ozos here. 60% crit, so we've got a 30% chance of a 4 damage crit. We got it. Perfect. So, is there anything else we want to pick up here? We've already got the maximum number of units. We pick this up. We don't want that, so we're just going to blink this. There we go. So this is another one here. So we've saved 3 cinders, so we are going to heal 3 here. Nothing else took any damage. And we're just storming through this cargo run. But yeah, the main thing I want is the Stimulating Formula here, or one of the other ways to refresh, or just more attack on my captain. But all in all, these are the easiest ways to beat the cargo runs, as well as just getting used to the bosses. So with Laser Squad, reducing their accuracy is super important. It's really, really important to make sure they can't just get that burst damage onto you. Here's another one where, so here, I would actually consider taking a relic called Smoking Jacket, which I don't usually like. Here I'm going to take Stasis Field and Corrosive because they're both just very good. It helps kill our enemy quicker and stuns Ecti Overcharge, who's going to be hitting huge amounts of damage in the late game. Okay, so here we go, Smoking Jacket. So this is what I was saying. I'm actually happy to take this even though it's not a relic I would normally want. The reason for that is that essentially this can reduce their accuracy from -40 to I think it's something like -80 with this. So this at the end of your turn, this is going to be the last relic we get, so we're not going to get any of the busted combos or anything like that. But what it does at the end of our turn creates a low visibility area. So if we just place Arya behind us, she'll be in that same area. Look at this now. We get a lovely smoke field. And their accuracy, if we have a look what they get here. So they're moving right up close and their accuracy is 54 there. I reckon it would probably be nearly 0 on us here. Like, genuinely do think that might be the case. Unit permanently gaining poison. So, normally you want that, like, all the buffs on your captain. And I think that's probably still the right choice here. So, I'm just going to move in here. Take this shot. We don't have anything with rapid fire really. I don't know if poison even works on Axel Pyro. So after damaging rival crew. You know what? Let's do science. I want to find this out. Okay, so it's not after damaging, after attacking essentially. So we'll take this shot. We will Gravity Disc our captain to it in that case. I would love it if it was Axel Pyro who was able to do that. That would be utterly mad, because then the burn would deal with them the next turn. Pop another Sleeper Mine down, and we'll just keep churning the turns through until we get damage onto them. Again, here with our Smoking Jacket, they're almost never going to be able to hit us. Okay, they pushed us out of the low visibility. That works. But either way, we're in a good spot here, and they're just going to keep moving on to that. There we go. Because they've got reduced accuracy anyway, that's really important. Okay, so unit permanently gaining fast is nice. Can we pull this without pulling the mine anywhere that we want it? No. So what we might have to do is just shoot this. Got it. Or maybe even just Gravity Disc these together. I still do want to get the fast onto our captain. I don't think we should have range here. No, we don't. So maybe this was actually a mistake. Let's just pop a Sleeper Mine down right in front of him, make him unhappy.
No more happy
and
hours.
You know what? I don't even think we need to deploy much else, but we will just to be pragmatic, because this will be potentially useful next turn. Take a pot shot. There we go, we missed that. If they go for the mine here, we've probably just got most of the kill next turn with corrosive particles and all this damage on the board. Okay, so they can just kill Esley if they get the hit here. It's a pretty decent chance. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Esley is good, but it's not the end of the world. And here I do think we probably just go for our corrosive particles here. So we are going to shoot after... We're going to gravity disc first and then shoot, I believe. Because we want him to get closer so that we can get Axel Pyro into range. Okay, so Axel doesn't need line of sight, so this works here. We do want fast, so we're going to pop here and grab the fast. Move Arya over here, go for stillness, guarantee the hit. Get a nice big hit here, and then stun it for next turn. He's going to take one. We can actually just place a sleep line just in front, just in case. And when it comes to this, we can even pass our next turn, and they will just die. So all we need to do is see which crate we might want to pick up. Oh, interesting, a hasty Florio. That's an unusual one. Stim burst there, doesn't matter. So we can look at Beatrice, Mequani Thicket, or Switchback. Unit gaining 5 health.
Breaking records and hearts.
So can we pull Florio out of the way? Let's just pull him. Come on. I don't want to pull their captain because I need to sneak through here and take this. Perfect. There we go. So Switchback's going to be our take. And then Arya's going to be our finish. So she's at 65% there, so we're just going to move in, hit stillness, and go for 100. Perfect. So now we've got a captain that does a medium amount of damage, not as much as we might hope. We haven't seen any attack buffs. He's very hard to kill. He's healed up quite a lot. Our crew's perfectly healthy. Our Arya's free. And this is looking like a pretty solid route into the last run. So, like the sort of little tips and tricks as well, things like learning the bosses and learning what to do against them. So things like the low visibility area, if we come against Vora now, who's one of the scariest bosses in the game, let's see who we get actually. We've got Dimian Snore. Okay, so Smoking Jacket's really nice here as well. So Smoking Jacket is basically better than you think it is at every point in time, because it really does just protect your captain for free constantly. Okay, this reduces assist cost by 3. So this is a really fun one, because it just means that every turn we can do stupid things. So now both of our assists are on a 0 turn cooldown. We can use this to bring them backwards every turn for nothing. And what we can do is anywhere that they might want to walk towards us, we can stick a big orbital strike. So they're just going to be running in the direction we want them to. And we can just still build up things here. It's going to be very hard for them to deal with this without just taking loads of damage. They're going to want to move this direction. Yep, they can shoot our mine, that's fine. So now we can place an orbital here and just stop them going this way completely. We can pull this out, try and shoot it down. Oh, I thought I heard a... There we go, unit... Oh, they placed it into there again. Unit gaining 2 attack is a pretty big deal, so... Is there a line of sight onto Dimian Snore here? There is. So we'll take this because we are far less likely to be hit than they are. We can actually just gravity disc this back to be safe. There we go. So Arya, does she have a line of sight at all? Not a good one there, so let's pull this up here. Can we get a better one? Honestly, I'm really not even that bothered by just activating her ability and going for 2 damage here. Seems pretty reasonable. We don't even need to move, I don't think, because we can just place an orbital strike down in here, so then Antios has really got nowhere to go. There we go. We're doing absolutely great here. Okay, so this isn't good if Dimian Snore hit us, actually. I didn't think about that. I didn't... Oh, they missed and then got the crit. Okay. Yeah, so that wasn't good for us, but I still don't feel like we're in a bad spot. We just need to find ways onto Dimian Snore as well, so...
Breaking records and hearts.
They're barely going to hit us the duration of this game, to be honest. So let's just try and take things out. We'll vortex these. Tell you what, can we vortex them in a way that Beatrice locks Dimmy and Storm into place? Not really. But if we just pull them back here... Beatrice will also find it very hard to get out of this. So we just place it, say, here. And her only real route is down to this corner. That's no use to anyone. And we can just start looking to play out our bigger units. And I think it's probably just popping Deadeye down over here.
Just look like you're thinking.
And us doing something like this. Going for the shot. Now we've got 4.
Oh, yes,
Beautiful.
the Zack special.
Gravity disc ourselves back up here to make Deadeye even harder to hit. Pop the sleeper mine down, reducing accuracy.
Dropping a hot one.
There we go. Feeling pretty solid right now. Yep. So, Beatrice is going to struggle to get out of this. I think deployed into it as well with Axial Pyro. Oh, it's got charge, it's fine. And another deployment. Ooh, a big T-poo. Yeah, and Beatrice is just going to sit in it. What's this one? Restore 3 health to all allies.
Need a moment
So now we need
take
to...
all this
Sorry, just need to start looking at what we're going to take out. So, Ozos onto Zax is very good here. What I think I'm going to do is actually try and just pull us to a position where we can get Deadeye to hit this, and then we can really start making some good use of our relics here. So we're going to want to make sure Axial Pyro is the one that mostly gets pulled forward.
Now we're talking.
Because if we hit this on Axial Pyro... Oh, it's got armour. Oh dear, that's very different. Okay, so I guess we're going to go for T-poo instead.
Drinks just go right through me.
This might actually have been a big mistake here, but if we get a crit here, this is perfect. We did. Okay. We do have increased crit chance, so it's not, you know, hugely unlikely. But this refreshes all of our abilities and means we can keep, you know, churning on through with damage. I'm actually going to just place the Sentinel down here, I think. And then just try and get a little bit of additional utility out here.
Coming through.
Take some damage off of that. Oh yeah, we have poison. Yeah. Sleeper mine over here. Gravity disc ourselves back to safety. And Orbital can just go... I mean, if we place it straight on Beatrice, I don't believe she can actually get out. And I think that blocks off some area stuff as well, so let's just do that. There we go. So this should only take 6 damage from this. Oh, they got the crit as well, okay. Yep, so our mine's going to die, that's fine. Yeah, so Beatrice is taking that damage. Now, with Zax here, we can actually get our... Okay, they got shrapnel, so they're going to get a bit more damage as well. Killing their own unit's nice for us. What's going on here? Getting 6 Cinder.
Just look like you're
So this is where the interactions get interesting. Because Beatrice took that damage, and we've got our Heroic Amulet, we're going to pop a Sleeper Mine down just here for Dimmy and Snore, block them in place. We'll take our attack and run away and hide. We're going to move down here, take our guaranteed kill onto Beatrice, 100% accuracy. There's nothing we want to Gravity Disc, I don't think, really. What was this one? Gain 6 Cinder. I mean, yeah, we can do that, I guess. No, let's just leave that for now. We'll take our shot, kill Beatrice. That refreshes all of our abilities, including our movement and our attack. So we can choose where we want to go for the attack here. Honestly, I'm going to flechette here while our captain's still safe and just take a bit more damage off their captain.
This moon's talking to me.
I'm going to pop into here, go for another nice attack. We're going to place a Sleeper Mine just in front of them again, so it makes it really hard for them to get line of sight onto us as well. Pop an Orbital behind them. And honestly, because we don't really care about Taria, we can just pop her in there as well.
Didn't sleep last night.
And most importantly, run and hide again. Right, this all just seems perfectly fine to me. We could also gain 6 Cinder right now, but actually, yeah, let's just gain 6 Cinder with this. I believe this should work. Because what this will do, yeah, is give us enough to play our switchback nice and safe as well. So, safest place for switchbacks probably. It's probably right where we can't get to, but let's place it in the low visibility field we're about to get. There we go. So we're happy for Taria to die here, but it just means that Dimmy and Snow can't escape. Yeah, this is all good. These mines are going to like damage each other. Yeah, so their only option is to move into orbital, which is not good for them at all. So we can move this way. These mines should die. If they don't die, we can gravity disc them in. Reduced accuracy is annoying, but we have got Deadeye, so at least only one of those died. We'll flechette over here.
Drakes just go right through me.
We're going to move into range, but make sure we gravity disc into this. We'll get our release Ozo. Okay, we can't quite reach for Ozo, so we're just going to pull Deadeye forward.
Now we're talking.
There we go, get Ozos onto Zax because he's got the reduced accuracy.
Steady shot.
Yeah, I think we just go for this. Perfect. And we've got multiple attacks to finish it off. So this will only heal 3. We could have tried to get to that maybe, but we're healing mostly up. And again, another really successful round. You know, that went really, really well. Cleared up Dimmy and Snore fairly successfully, and that's the end of our cargo run. So great game all in all. It's hopefully going to give you an idea of some of like the tips and tricks and things that you can do from there. Another thing is that cargo run's a great way to learn the game, and learning how best to use your relics is a really important thing about that. So if we'd have taken booby-trapped igniters, I don't think we'd have done anywhere near as well. We'd have had to play completely differently. Our smoking jacket was actually key in the games versus Ecti Overcharge and Dimmy and Snore, because it meant that we could protect our units and give them a low enough chance to hit that the opponent didn't even want to try. So another little cargo run, hopefully a fun bit of content for you. Hopefully you're enjoying this lovely weekend. Make sure you subscribe, I really do appreciate it. I still get every notification on my phone from every single subscriber, so it really does make my day. Comment on the video, hit a like button, and most importantly, have a good day.